Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today here at the shelter. Well, one of us is here at the shelter. We are so excited to be starting a new live series for all of you guys out there who are looking to adopt or maybe just hang out with a cute animal for half an hour. This is our new Adoptable Animal Spotlight we're going to be doing. And this is a series in which you'll get to meet different adoptable animals and get to learn a lot more about them than you might just through reading their profile on our website or looking at a photo of them. You'll get to meet different staff, foster families, all kinds of people that are spending time with our adoptable animals and hopefully get to know them really well and maybe bring one of these animals into your home. So this week we are starting off with Caitlin Grayson, who is one of the newest members of our behavior team. Say hi, Caitlin.
Hello.
Hello. And she has a very special guest with her. And the little orange guy you can see down there is Cesar. Cesar is one of our longer stay cats that we have right now. He's been with us for a little while. And we thought this was the perfect opportunity for you guys to get to see Cesar in action, get to know him a little bit better. And of course, we will ask Caitlin lots of questions about him. Caitlin is one of his BFFs at the shelter, so you're going to learn a lot. So Caitlin, I am going to get the focus on you here. Give me just 1 second, and we are going to get started. There we go, and make sure everyone can see Cesar nice and big. Well, thank you so much for being here with us. How are you and Cesar doing today?
We are great. So Cesar hasn't started his usual exercises that we do each time that I visit with him yet. So he's kind of a little bit, just give me the treat now. Thank you.
I'm hungry, please.
Exactly. He's like, I'll crawl up your leg. So Cesar is about 7 years old. He was transferred in from one of our rescue partners, and he is a very special guy. So you can see he's a little bit on the large side. Could probably stand a little weight.
Of course, he went out of the camera. We'll try to let's see if we can get him back in.
Over.
He's big, like he's a big boy.
He's a little bit of a chunker.
Yeah,
but he's very sweet. He's just more to love, right?
So exactly. There he is.
There he is.
He's a big boy. He sat in my lap when I was there the other day, and I mean, he just like pooled, and he didn't fit. He was so big.
Well, he is all about the food. So on that, Cesar is incredibly food motivated, which we are using to our advantage a little bit. So we have actually been working with him to work on teaching him how to sit, which he knows quite well, as you can see. We are also teaching him how to go to a mat on cue. And we've also been doing some harness training as well as some target training with him. And by target training, we mean having him go to a certain spot or touch a certain item when we ask him to. Wow. So that one's a little fresh. He's a very smart guy. He's so eager to just learn new things and be interactive, which is one of the great things though, because I will say he needs a home with no other animals or small children, but that's okay. Because when you see him, he's all that you need.
He's like, I take enough space for 3 other animals. And so that is an important point I think we'll touch on, that, an important thing right off the bat, in case any of you guys out there do have other pets. We've had Cesar long enough at this point, and he's been in a couple different foster homes that we've really noticed enough to think that he would be happier as the only animal in the home. Is that right, Caitlin?
Yes. Yeah, so we have noticed that some of the behavior he has shown at the shelter with us, but at the same time, just because of his other needs, we do feel that he's going to take up quite a bit of time. And we do just think that he'd be happiest being your one and only.
He's an adventure kitty. He needs all your time and attention.
He is, but he's going to be so much fun to take on adventures and things like that. So one of those little notes though too is with his adventures, he is learning how to wear a harness properly and how to be comfortable and confident in a harness. So we've got his fun little harness right here. It is nice and Velcro. You can already see he's like, hey, bring it on. Oh. So what we've been doing right now is just making some really good associations with the harness. So he has one of his little enrichment items here I'll get to in just a minute. But what we do is we kind of set it over here and then we guide him into the harness. When he puts his little feet in, we go ahead and just move it where we need to. He's very polite on letting us do this. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 tries. It's okay. And then we just kind of go and slip it up onto his feet. He may not want to do it right now. It's okay.
It's always what they want if they're up for it.
Exactly. It depends if he wants to. But right now he's only ventured into walking around the cat room while he's wearing his leash. So his leash is right here. It's a nice little bungee leash too. Walking a cat is very different from walking a dog. So any dog people that are walking this, you're not going to be trekking miles and miles with your cat gently walking next to you. Walking a cat on leash is more about letting them explore their environment safely. So when we do that, we kind of let them guide the walk. You know, you may be standing by a tree for 25 minutes just because they want to scratch or climb up the tree a little bit.
Yeah,
and
trees are fascinating.
Exactly. So Cesar in his new home will need a little bit of a confidence boost in teaching him how to be outside. So while we're introducing him to some of the new environments of the cat room that he doesn't get to see on a daily basis unless he's wearing his harness, thank you. He'll need to continue with some of that training. He'll also, because he doesn't really like to be manhandled, and that's okay. I don't know many people that do either. Right? Like no hugs, thank you. So he
social
really
distancing.
Exactly. He kind of doesn't really like to be picked up or kind of manhandled too much. So with that, we're encouraging him to kind of come along with us with these nice little extra special treats called churros. These have been fabulous on getting him to do pretty much anything that you would like to teach him how to do.
You just use the meat flavored yogurt, right?
Exactly. It's all about that. Come on, buddy. So right there, he's like, I got it. So
no, but saying that, so I know, like, and I'm sure a lot of people out there know, like, the average cat, he's not that different in the fact that he doesn't like to be picked up and handled. My cat doesn't like that either. She'll let my husband do it, but pretty much no one else. So it's like totally understandable that he's not one for being held and picked up. But if I remember from the times that I've spent with him, he's pretty good about body language, right? Like he's pretty good about telling you when you're doing something that he doesn't like. So that would be great if you want to talk about his body language a little bit. And on the other hand, is he may not like to be picked up, but I also do know that he is super affectionate as well. I went in there the other day to sit with him and I sat down on the floor and the first thing he did was hop in my lap, start purring. He was rubbing his face on my face. So like, I am sure people would like to know about that too.
Absolutely. So his body language is absolutely fantastic and wonderful. So he gives lots and lots of great body language. And what I like to say is if you're a cat person, he's going to be your cat because he is the typical cat. He's got the attitude, he's got the saunter, like he's got it all going on. So with his body language, what we've noticed is that if he ever gets uncomfortable, for example, if maybe you're petting him too long or something like that, his pupils might start to dilate a little bit. His ears may go back. He may get to be a little bit tense or a little bit stiff. You may see his body language move a little bit more slowly. The reason we're not giving you examples of this though is because we're trying not to let him get to that point. We're trying to encourage him to stay within his body language realm. That is where he's comfortable. So we do keep petting to a minimum. And by petting to a minimum, I just mean, we focus on petting his head or his cheeks because he likes it. He likes to sniff first, like most cats. He's like, not too fast. But we don't do typical long body strokes with him.
Yeah.
Just because it's sometimes very uncomfortable for cats to do.
Yeah. I was going to say, for people out there, most cats don't like that.
Yes.
I think it's interesting because I think what we're seeing in Cesar is that it's not that he's different than other cats, but he's just a lot more confident to let you know when he doesn't like something. Whereas other cats might just sort of sit there and be like, fine, do it, but that doesn't mean they like it. They're just maybe not expressing their emotions. Whereas Cesar is he's a developed cat. He is comfortable expressing his emotions, whether they're happy or annoyed.
He just expects you to understand what he's trying to tell you, but what he's trying to tell you is in typical cat language. So anything that he does that we have seen here has been a lot of, hey, I don't like this, I'm not comfortable. And he gives us great warning. The other thing too that we have heard from his foster parents though is that he does love to snuggle. It's just on his own terms.
Yeah.
So if he wants to come and hang out in your lap, that's cool. He may just not want to be pet. He may just want to sit on your comfy lap. He's like all about these churros.
He's so excited.
What's the mark?
Cesar, I think Cesar is all about consent. And like I say that and I actually don't mean it as a joke, you guys. Like I think people think we're joking when we say that, but it's really important that when you're petting your animals, you are always looking for that consent to pet, as we call it, which is them giving you that physical body language, that confirmation that this is okay. And that's really what Cesar's looking for, right? He's looking for someone to watch him and be like, hey, can we snuggle? And if he says yes, great. If he says no, then you can do something else fun, like go for a walk,
Yep.
play with one of his enrichment toys, something like that, right?
And that's exactly what we talk about. It's literally one of the exercises listed in some of his projects that we work on with him is called consent to pet. And what we do is, and this is 100% translatable to any pet that you have, is you present something like your fist, or it can just be a finger. And if they decide to rub on it, that means they want attention. Cesar chose not to rub. That's okay. We're still going to reward him because he's saying, hey, I don't feel like being pet right now. I just want the treat. So we do work on things like that, and it's proven to be very, very successful. He's like,
he found your treat bag.
In my bag.
He's smart. He says, I know what you're doing.
He is. So that's why we do work on consent to pet. It's just to make it a little bit easier for our animals to realize that, hey, you're not my stuffed animal. You are a pet that has a brain. So with that,
it's so nice to know that when you pay attention to Cesar or any cat's body language, that when they do give you that consent, like how cool is it to actually be able to communicate with your pet and like know that you are doing something that they want, as opposed to just like obliviously sort of just doing whatever you want to do. Like I think that's so cool to be able to like talk to them.
It is, and knowing their communication is so crucial to just interacting with any cat, but Cesar especially. So that's why we actually have a couple of resources that we can even recommend if you're interested in adopting him. One of them is a book called Decoding Your Cat. It's actually written by I'm going to get this wrong, but I believe it's called the American Veterinary Behaviorist College.
We'll post a link in the comments so that you guys can
we got it,
if you
so
want.
I don't totally mess it up. There's also some other wonderful resources we can provide, like harness training and some fun enrichment activities that can be done with him as well, that we'll post those links as well. All of those things are going to make sure that Cesar helps become the perfect cat for you. So with that, some of the enrichment items that I know we've mentioned a couple times already that we're kind of like sneaking around at the moment. So one of them, like I mentioned, is the harness. Getting cats outside and getting them some new stimulus to take a look at, to take a look at and things like that. Sniff new things, leave their scent in some new places. That's all super, super fun for cats. Another really great thing. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I was going to say, for those of us, you kind of already answered the question, but I know what enrichment means. And I know some of our viewers might, but I know a couple, maybe even a lot of our friends out there may not actually know what the word enrichment means, especially when it relates to cats. Would you mind giving us a little dictionary definition of enrichment?
It's not going to be quite a dictionary definition, but I'll do my best.
Doesn't have to be that fancy. It's okay.
So enrichment, typically in our point of view, means that we're giving our animals something to do. We're enriching their lives by working their brains, working their minds, teaching them to learn new things, or just exposing them to things that they enjoy, things that help them interact. And he's like got his little paw on my finger.
Oh, he's grabbing his paw. He's so cute.
He's like, please don't take it away. See? So
this is why you're so big.
Right, exactly. He's like, I just want all the churro. So what that also means is that we're trying to kind of get them in tune with their natural behaviors. So for cats are natural predators. That's why the number one thing we recommend for enrichment is interactive wand toy play, because it simulates a hunt. And nothing is more exciting to cats than hunting. They love it. So sometimes you kind of figure out what kind of hunter your cat is. Cesar is a little bit more of a ground hunter, where he he'd probably be chasing some mice or maybe some bugs that run along the ground, things like that. So he does have some wand toys that he really enjoys that we kind of toss across the ground. And we always end those play sessions with either a meal or a little treat to simulate that he caught his prey. It's super fun. And this doesn't just apply to Cesar, this applies to any cat. We just kind of have amped up the ante with enrichment for Cesar because we've just noticed how much he loves to learn. So he's all about this treat.
He's so excited.
He is.
And he does he just has such a big personality. Like,
does. He's all about it. He's very, very confident. I think that's something that I really enjoy with him is he knows what he wants and he's going to go get it.
He's not afraid of anything. Like and that's such a nice thing, because I think so many people are kind of, the stereotype of cats is like, oh, they'll hide when someone comes over.
Yeah.
And he like, I know his foster dad said that like the minute he brought him into the house, he didn't need like decompression time. He was just like, hey, this is my house. I'm gonna check it out. Like, I love that about him.
Play with it. So another really great enrichment thing too, and all of this enrichment also helps build a confident cat and keeps your cat confident. So another enrichment thing we have here is called a snuffle mat. So what this is just a bunch of little fabric pieces here, and they're kind of put together so that you can hide food inside these fun little pieces, and your cat has to go and hunt for it. It's also, I guess you could also call it foraging. So it's super, super fun to do. You can, if you are interested in getting one of these for your cat, you can get them on Amazon. All over
Pretty
the
sure
place,
that one's from our wish list. Yeah, our Amazon
I
wish
think
list.
so. But he loves to do these. He's actually looking for it. Like, where's my food?
Want to do it?
So snuffle mats are great. We also have these really fun things called
And
exercisers.
Caitlin, I'm gonna, sorry to interrupt you again. Do you mind? I'm sure people would love to see him. Like, do you mind tilting your phone down just a tiny bit so that everyone can see him with his
to not
stuff?
fall down. Hi.
Technical stuff, fun times.
Sorry, pause. No, if this goes down. I'm using a new map
Gonna
here.
try. Send. Oh, there we go. Perfect.
Set down. Okay.
We had a little bit. Little bit's better than nothing.
That good?
Yeah, there we
Hopefully
go. I want to make sure people can see him doing.
No,
his
absolutely.
stuff.
It's not about me. It's about the cat.
Oh, but we like talking to you too, Caitlin.
So this super fun thing is called an exerciser. Let me hold it a little closer. So you basically put your cat's food in here, and they have to knock it around until the food falls out through one of the holes. This is really nice because you can adjust the hole size. So as they get really good at it, you can kind of make it smaller and make it a little bit more difficult. But again, it's a super great way to exercise your cat's brain. And then he's like, I'm done with this. I don't want the food.
Well, all his toys are out at the same time. He's like, what?
He usually loves that. Usually when I leave, I'll put a little array of things for him to go and choose to do. Because the beautiful thing about the beautiful thing about enrichment though is letting your cat choose what they want to interact with. Yeah. So you don't necessarily just want to be like, here, this is how you're going to eat every single meal. You know, you have to kind of do it slowly.
Well, I mean, that's a cool thing to talk about though, because I mean, when you think about it, how much choice do cats have in their everyday life? Like most of them stay inside and their meals come at a certain time every day. And right. Like, and we're always like, I want to snuggle with you now. And, so it's cool to think about things more like giving them, we talk about consent and giving them choices and letting them have a more fulfilled life. I mean, Cesar, you're going to have the most fulfilled life ever.
That's the goal, right?
With all these options.
That's always the goal. So one last thing that we have to show for his enrichment is this nice little fun green mat here. This is called a Licky Mat. So this is just made of silicone and there's little nubs on it. So whatever snack you put in here, the cats just like lick it off. It's also supposed to be a little bit calming to them because cats love to lick. They like grooming themselves. Sometimes that is a response that cats have when they are stressed. They may feel compelled to groom themselves, things like that. But this is kind of a nice little thing of like, hey, you have to it takes it slow. Still got to think about how to get your food out. They do make ones with other designs, but I find that cats seem to enjoy the green ones the most. So that's why we usually recommend those. And then one last thing for Cesar that is very enriching for him too is also making sure that he has lots of areas to scratch. So for cats, they love to leave their scent everywhere. Cats are really big on scent. They love to, so you may notice that like as they're trying to bond with you, they may like lay in your dirty clothes or something because they're like, hey, mom and dad's scent's here. I'm going to go lay on it.
And he was rubbing his face on your leg and on your pouch, which is he was probably depositing scent from his cheeks as well, right?
So. Exactly. So they also do it with their paws. So that's why we say lots and lots of nice areas for them to scratch. He has a tiny little scratcher right here while we are waiting to get some larger scratchers for him as well. But cats also have different styles of scratching. So, we may find that upright scratchers aren't his jam. He may really enjoy scratching on the ground or an incline. So we're going to kind of play around with that a little bit too. But that is kind of, I think I hit most everything. Did I miss something?
I mean, we haven't talked about how handsome he is. We could talk about that for 20 minutes probably. Maybe at the end we'll have you take the camera off the tripod and we'll get some close-ups of him, but you just keep doing what you're doing right now. So, I mean, to me, it sounds like, if someone was going to ask like, okay, what's the perfect home for Cesar? Well, I mean, number one, at Age Really, we don't necessarily believe in like the perfect home because every relationship, whether it's with a human or an animal, and you have to work at it, right? You have to get to know each other. So I don't know if we're looking for the perfect home for Cesar. We're looking for the family who's like excited about a cat that's smart and wants to work and wants to go on adventures.
And a family that wants to learn about some cat stuff too. So
Yeah.
I love when people ask perfect home. I love saying, it's not necessarily a perfect home. It's about finding someone who's going to be interested enough in learning about not necessarily the quirks, but what this particular animal needs. So they're kind of different, some people are like, hey, he's just all about this today.
He's so excited. Oh my gosh.
I'm glad you're happy, buddy.
It's like a little kid with an ice cream.
It's true. I'm sure if I could figure it out, he'd probably hold himself.
Right. You don't have opposable thumbs, buddy.
No. It's like, I got it.
And I mean, for all those people out there that really want, their dream of having a cat is one that they could make Instagram famous. You guys, this is your cat. He is so photogenic, and he does what, doesn't he know a couple cues too, Caitlin?
He does. I'm gonna see if he's gonna do a sit for me. I'm gonna break out a brand new churu because it's usually when he gets excited.
He takes great photos, you guys.
He really does. And I think honestly too, if he got to go outside, once he learns to get comfortable on going outside, you're gonna get some really beautiful photos of him, probably hanging out.
He
in a
needs
tree,
to be
all sorts of
Instagram
stuff.
famous.
He's gonna have sponsors lining up for him.
Right? I love it.
Yes.
Right,
so normally we use a clicker with him, but the clicker's kind of loud on microphones, so I'm not gonna break that out just yet. Let me see if you're gonna come over here. No, can I guide you here? Yeah. So I'm just guiding him up so that we can eventually ask him to sit again. Sit.
Oh, we're distracted
outside. And training cats is so much different than training dogs. It's training, training dogs. Dogs are typically very what do you want me to do? I'm here to be your best friend. Cats are kind of I'm here. I want to be your friend, but I'm still going to do what I want to do.
Yeah. Caitlin, have we taught him a high five? Because I feel like we could totally shape what he's doing into a high five.
But that's next.
Yes. Excited.
And
for those of you who don't know what shaping means, I can't explain it perfectly, but essentially when an animal offers a behavior, so he's putting his paw on Caitlin's hand, you can start marking that behavior and rewarding it so that he eventually starts doing it as a cue, as opposed to an unwanted, potentially kind of rude. It's cute, but it's kind of rude. He's being a little, yeah.
And so that's why, in that one, I did wait to reward him until his feet were on the ground. Yep. I will say, I have heard from his foster parents that he's a little bit of a food thief. So
I can see that.
There are ways to work around him, hanging on your countertop or your kitchen table while you're trying to eat dinner. You just got to give him some places that are appropriate for him to be, like a cat tree. And it doesn't have to be, horribly unappealing into the rest of your decor. But
I know all about that. I am all about the nice cat furniture.
I would be, but my cats are just it's cool, we got your stuff. So so you just kind of put a cat tree or something that is more appropriate for him to be on in that area, and then you encourage him to go there. Another great thing is maybe you give him a Licky Mat while you're eating your dinner, so he has something to do to stay away from your food. So like I said, Cesar, he's not necessarily, I hate saying that he's more work than a normal cat. I think he's just, your expectations are going to be that he is a cat who will enjoy being stimulated in the sense of with enrichment a little bit more than most cats. So he's very smart and he's going to use it.
So two things I'm going to note, but first thing is when he was sitting like that with his little behind to us, his bat rolls were just glorious. I had to bring attention to it. They were amazing. But the second thing is to me, it almost sounds like kind of for he would be the cat for someone who maybe wants a dog, but can't have a dog, but they can have a cat that learns things and wants to play and wants to learn new things. And, so if you're in an apartment,
or if you're someone who just really wants to teach your cat fun stuff, if you've always wanted someone, if you've always wanted a cat that you can teach to jump through the hoop, or come when called, or all these wonderful different things that you can teach your cat. Some cats are just motivated a little bit differently than others, and he is just a cat that is very heavily food motivated and will do just about anything.
Just like me. I'm food motivated. Are you, Caitlin?
I am, I'll be honest. So
okay, Cesar. Look, He's showing off his little fat rolls again. I love it. Look at the fat rolls. You need to lose some weight, Cesar. You chunky.
You gotta
I
get
love
outside
it.
a little more. Get a little
You're so
rolling around.
cute.
Sit.
Oh, I love little chunky self. Oh,
Thank you.
Oh, good boy. Can't start baby talking to the cat on Zoom, guys. I gotta chill with that.
He's like, I wish I could see you.
So cute.
He really is, and he's such a sweet cat. So, but yeah, he's definitely a special case in the sense of he kind of knows what he wants, and he's waiting for that person to show up.
I love it. Well, hopefully we'll be able later on, maybe this week, we can post some photo or videos of him doing his harness once he's gotten a little more comfortable. We'll post those.
Absolutely.
I mean, ideally he would just get adopted and his person can do that instead, but
he does wear it. Let's see if he'll wear it real quick, because he's kind of simmered down a little.
Oh, let's see. The pressure's on, man.
He's probably like full of churu and nothing.
I just need a nap now.
It's like, I just want a nap.
I'm tired.
So he does kind of let you pick up his little foot to put it. He just doesn't want it today.
He's like, I don't want to. That's okay, buddy.
He's like,
you don't
I'm
have to
done.
perform.
Exactly. But he does wear his harness around the cat room, and we have been working on, this is the wrong one. There's like 5 churros.
Look how many empty sticks you got over there, buddy. You don't need any dinner.
No, he probably won't eat his dinner.
Well, it sounds like we've let everyone know all the amazing things about him. So for those of you who maybe are curious to learn more, or who are interested in doing a virtual meet and greet with him, it's super easy. You're just going to go on our website, and I'll put the link below to his profile. And you can make an appointment to meet him. It might be with Caitlin, it might be with another member of our adoptions team. And they can answer any questions that you guys have about him. Of course, if you have questions right now, post them in the comments. We'll come back and try our best to answer those questions, and hang out, and just let you know like how awesome of a cat he is. But really Caitlin, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Oh,
You're welcome.
So cute. Well, hold on. We might have to stay now because he's being cute. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I could watch cute cats all day, even though I do that.
We need a Cesar cam. Right.
We do need a Cesar cam. We should get one. Cesar, do you want to be on reality TV?
Like, I could do it.
As long as there's food involved, craft services.
Fair.
He is good to go. You're his craft services, Caleb.
I know. It's nice though, because now he'll see me in his window and he's just like, hey lady, I love you.
That's my friend. He made me so sad the other day when I left. I left his room, I was going home, and he like put his paws up on the door and was just crying, like, where are you going? I felt so bad. I was like, buddy.
Most of the time, by the time that I'm done with him, he's usually kind of tired. So he's like, it's fine. Yeah. You can go. We're done.
Nap time for Cesar now, huh?
Exactly.
All right. Well, we will let Cesar get to his nap if he ever stops eating his snacks. But Caitlin, thank you so much for your time. And thank all of you guys. We'll come back here for a second. Thank all of you guys for watching and learning about Cesar. And like I said, any questions, post them below, or you can make an appointment to do a virtual meet and greet with him at the link that we will post. All right. Thank you guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.